Hey guys, Steven Martinez with The American Dream. I just want to say a big thanks to all our supporters and fans. It's because of you guys that we're able to keep growing. Having said that, please don't forget to follow and subscribe. It means a lot to us. That's what helps us keep growing. And also, I hope you guys enjoy the next episode. Hey guys, welcome back to The American Dream podcast. Here with another special guest, Austin Rosenbaum.
Good to see you again.
CEO and founder of DemandIQ.
Thank you for having me.
This it's very rare that I get to do a podcast with a young entrepreneur. So it's really cool to be with someone same age, right, with the same mindset and mentality. So for people who don't know Austin, before we get into all the good stuff, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, man. We're Denver-based. Lots of great roofers in our backyard. Inspired us to make tools that kind of change the game for how people sell and generate leads. Mm-hmm. So, our tool really helps to automate the process of buying a new roof and helps salespeople improve their life by being able to close jobs without ever leaving their office. And so this concept of virtual sales is actually the way that I met you. You came to us and said, hey, with iSmart, we're looking to change the way we do business and be able to do things differently so that we can stand out. Mm-hmm. And really just adapt to like what today's market is. It's like people are changing and you want to do things the way people want to buy. They want to buy things virtually. Mm-hmm. And so, you came to us, and so we connected because you're one of our customers using this product. And so, it's awesome to be on the show and to chop it up with you and learn a bit about how you're using our product and inspire some roofers out there.
Absolutely, man. It's funny you say that too, because I have the American Dream event, and for us it was, we have all these amazing partner sponsors like ABC, Owens, Corning, GAF, Job Nimbus, you name them. And a lot of my good friends have already sold their companies to private equity. So I was like, okay, how can I create a concept within the roofing industry, create my own company, but have its own competitive advantage now in 2025 with things changing and adapting. And obviously the industry in itself is declining a little bit. So I was like, okay, let's create iSmart Roofing and let's implement processes, because in my opinion, and a lot of people would agree, door-to-door is kind of, declining, unfortunately. Yeah. And it's tough too, door-to-door is tough. And then I saw you guys and I was like, whoa, I've never heard or seen anything like this. And I think I saw one of your ads and I saw a concept of, how fast you guys are able, that's the thing that attracted me the most was the speed, because I'm all about speed. How fast I'm able to get the client that quote and give them their options, and then obviously we tie that in with our own way of doing the whole sales infrastructure within that to get them all streamlined and set up, and pretty much the only time they see us is when the job starts.
Right.
And it's been going great. So you guys are an amazing tool. But what made you, I guess, create DemandIQ? Where did you see the marketplace going with that? What was going on through your head at that time?
Yeah, I mean, so we started in 2020. Okay. We started in another trade, but a few years ago made it into roofing as well. We've expanded. Mm-hmm. And when I was working with one of those home improvement companies back in 2020, or actually it was more like 2019, I was thinking to myself like, hey, this process that I have to go through of getting a quote, it's just too darn hard. It's too much work. And how do we just lower that effort required? Because if you can lower that effort required to get a quote, you get more people inquiring, right?
Of course.
So if we want to lower our cost of acquisition and get more sales, we just need to make things take the friction out of this. And we all know that homeowners want multiple quotes. So whether they're doing this with you, they're doing this maybe one other person or two other people, that's a lot of time that you have to take out of your day to be able to get just some basic information. And you know as a roofer that if you were doing it the old way, if you're going out to people's homes, that you would be spending a lot of time behind the windshield. Mm-hmm. You would be spending a lot of time sitting down with people who really aren't budget qualified or maybe have a lot of objections around price. And so we took that model and said look, let's just make it easier for people to shop for a new roof and to be able to look at their options and find out which one that they want to work with. And so that was the kind of the genesis of DemandIQ, is being able to make it just easier for people to get quotes and to be able to do it in the way that myself as a millennial homeowner wanted to do it, right? If we think about our businesses, I believe that one of the best exercises is just to put yourself in the customer's shoes, right? And pretend you're a customer yourself. What would you want? And the software and the ecosystem, the workflows that we built all are catered around what I believe are the modern millennials' interests of being able to get a quote fast, an accurate quote, with a trusted provider, and then a bunch of information about that trusted provider, so that it's not just about selling on price, but it's about selling on value. So it's not always about being the lowest cost provider, it's about being the best cost provider. And so, yeah, so that's kind of the background on us. And now we work with hundreds of contractors across the US and Canada, and obviously very lucky to have you here in Texas as one of our great customers. And so we're excited to be able to share this technology, the strategy around virtual sales and digital lead generation with instant quoting. It's available to all. And as we think about our business, we're moving not just from roofing, but into other trades as well. Things that you might be selling, like siding or windows or other types of
HVAC too, right?
HVAC is a big one for us. But for those exterior remodelers, like not just the instant roof quote, but the instant windows quote and the instant siding quote, and things that you might, gutters, things like that you might already be wanting to sell in your portfolio of products. But HVAC is definitely one that we're doing as well, as long as plumbing and other types of things.
Yeah, I noticed whenever if you do a market research analysis, right, in the area that you want to be predominant in with whatever business, and you look at the target audience, I noticed that Houston specifically, insurance is almost disappeared, man. I don't think we've had any insurance work in maybe a couple of years, if that. I mean, maybe there's like one or two small things going on, but nothing to that degree of like actual insurance work for a lot of companies. So it's been going on the decline. So I was like, okay, let's look at it from a numbers perspective, right? If I have a rep, let's not talk about insurance because all retail, right? I have a rep doing door to door. For whatever case in miracle, my guy's able to close door to door through retail, which is highly, highly, highly unlikely. He can maybe knock on a good day, supposedly, right? Because they say that, right? They say 30 to 40 doors.
Yep.
Maybe if you're lucky, 7, 8 answer. 5 tell you to fuck off, right?
Yeah, and you're in the heat.
And then you're heat, and you're in the heat. You're tired. You're wasting time. It's a full day's work. Maybe you get one okay. Maybe you have to get on top of the roof. They say they're going to think about it. Their husband's not home. There's so many factors and variables that in terms of speed and streamlining everything to be time effective, you're losing so much. And then also, you're from a morale standpoint, your guys are going to give up. They're like, I've been knocking on doors, thinking I'm going to make 6 figures for 2-3 weeks now, and I haven't even landed one deal. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's all dependent on the market. That's why I have to really emphasize on that. Like, if you're, for whatever reason, in Minnesota, then maybe it's a different approach because they get hit with hail a lot. So door-to-door could make sense, but it is slowly decreasing even then.
It's getting harder to knock doors. There's regulations in place that are making it more challenging, right?
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, do homeowners want their door knocked, or do they want to shop and find someone online?
Yep. That's exactly it. And that's how I thought about it. So I was like, okay, if the door-to-door stuff, it's statistically 40, right? My sales guys, my killers, can be virtually connecting with over 100 a day. And it's a numbers game, right? So if they're connecting with, let's say you have a team of 5 guys, they're connecting 80 to 100 prospects, lead generation, Google, LSA, Facebook ads, all that good stuff, right? So many connections.
Yeah.
And then you're bound to get, a few estimates and actually get someone, because now you're not just cold calling someone from like, hey, like, do you want to buy a roof? But they're actually interested in your service already because they're already self-lead.
They're opt-ins.
Exactly.
So yeah, just think about it like this.
Exactly.
How long do you think it takes in this area to drive out to an appointment?
In Houston, dude, like an hour.
Okay, so an hour, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then how long do you sit with someone?
Well, luckily, I've never had to do that because obviously we do it virtual, but I would say maybe 30 minutes.
30 minutes to an hour,
yeah.
Right? And then an hour back, right?
3 hours, it's half your day already.
So that's like 3 hours could be, right? In 3 hours, how many? You're talking about calling down a list of opt-ins, right? But then of that, in an hour, how many qualified actual sales consultations do you think you can have virtually?
Way more compared to door to door, that's for sure.
You think maybe you could have like 5 or 6 in that 5 maybe in that period?
We're sending at
3 hours.
At least for us, I can speak for myself. We send around 7 to 10 estimates a day.
7 to 10 a day.
Yeah, like formal agreements, estimates that we send through the portal.
Okay.
And then they're pre-vetted through DemandIQ, where we're able to actually see what their budget is.
So let's say someone works 8 hours a day, which they don't. They work 7 hours a day, right? They take an hour for lunch. That means that they're sending like between 1 and some change per hour So they're sending out 1 and some change per hour. And so someone might say like, well, Steven or Austin, like, the close rates though on when I sit with someone are really high. I'm really good at closing, right? How is it that you could tell me that I'd be able to repeat that over the phone? And I think that the answer, tell me if I'm wrong, would be, look, the numbers that we can hit, it doesn't matter even if you're closing at like 35, 40%, the sheer scale of appointments that you can get done in a day with the virtual model is going to outpace or outperform, and you're not going to be as darn tired and waste as much gas money as you would if you're out in the field. Would you agree with that, or how would you think about that?
100% agreed. It's funny. I spoke to Kaiser and a few friends, and they've already sold their companies. And the typical closing rate in the industry, if I'm not mistaken, is you're from 8 to 12. Like if you're closing 8 to 12 of your prospects and leads, you're doing okay. I kid you not, we're almost at 30% for us.
You're at 30%.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, what did you say? What industry averages for in person? Would you say 8 to 12?
Yeah, that's
percent.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I hope that people are doing better than that, but
that's what I've heard.
Like even best closers in the field that I've heard, 20, 30% is like a good number. So you're at the same number and you're getting more appointments per day and able to close that. That's just so much more scale that you could have with iSmart Roofing than if you were to do it in person. Just the fact that you can have those reps over and over again. So tell me, Steven, how you thought about your tech stack when going down this path? Like what is required and what's different about that model when you do it virtually than when you're in person? Like what type of tech options are available, and how did you think about building the tech stack?
In terms of programs and softwares that we use?
Yeah. What's required if someone what's the workflow? Maybe just start with just the workflow that you go through. From lead in to sign deal, what does that look like in between?
So one of the most important things that I did at the beginning, and this is probably the most important thing, and it's sometimes the most overlooked at, is the branding behind the company. So I had the American dream, I saw a common denominator, I had friends, so I reverse engineered everything with iSmart Roofing. So we started backwards because I already had the end result of wanting to sell the business. That was our pure goal, is to sell the business.
Yeah.
So we were able to say, okay, let's create a brand, which is important because no one's going to trust Steven the Roofer LLC compared to iSmart Roofing, and that's just the truth.
Yeah.
Because there's a subconscious trigger with the consumer when they tie it into a personal. Unless if you've been in business for over 20 years, then you're set. But for a new and upcoming kid on the block, you have to think of something more generic. So the branding, the content, the web design, right? The landing page, it's things that are the most important nowadays in today's society with technology. I'm gonna look you up, I'll type you on Google, if that, maybe ask ChatGPT or go on your website, look at your credibility, Google guaranteed, Google verified, reviews, obviously that's a big one. Yeah. So we did all the important stuff because you could only do so much with just sales.
Yeah.
And once we perfected the foundation of it, then we're like, okay, now we got something cool. So now what do we need to run the business? We need sales. So now we have to streamline the process and create the systems, our SOPs. So what I do, no door-to-door. We have our local service ads, our SEO pay-per-click through Google, and then we have our meta ads, which do Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
So more on the Facebook side. We have different types of campaigns, which is another really important thing, because based on your campaigns is the target avatar that you're going to actually attract.
Yep.
If you're going to say, hey, $6,000 for a roof, click now. Yeah, you're going to get clients, but not your ideal clients. You're going to get the ones that are cheap trying to save money. So we've perfected that, which is a different conversation as well. So taking you through the process, the client sees the ad, it looks attractive, it's our perfect target audience that we want. They automatically fill in the form comes into our team, they call them twice. If they don't call them, shoot them a text, maybe they're at work, whatever. And then as soon as we get that property address, send them in with you guys. So we'll go into DemandIQ, get instant quote, plug it in, and then we're able to see the lead form and get their exact measurements and quotes and look at their good, better, best options.
Got it.
And then with good, better, best, then we're looking at the ranges. Obviously, depending on the quality of live warranty that they want, is their option, depending on their budget or whatever the case may be. So then once we get that, we send them over, hey, this is your pricing through the phone or text, A, B, or C. You'd be surprised how many deals we've closed through text.
Really?
I prefer to text too sometimes. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, just get it done. Like people just want to get it done.
Yeah.
And Sean this morning was really adamant about that, which I was like, wow, like, he's right. Like just get to the point. Like, you know, what do I have to do? So then once we have that pricing set up, we're like, yeah, we're set for this. Okay, we're gonna send you over a formal estimate, right, with terms, conditions, lien notice for protection, warranty, all that good stuff.
Yep.
And then we send that through our CRM that we use, Job Nimbus. They e-sign it, and then we send the invoice. We lock it in, production does, and then the only time they see us is when the job starts.
So there's this magic moment that I think happens uniquely, like virtually with you guys, that isn't happening with other companies. And I think that someone is on the phone with a lead within 5 minutes, ideally. Speed to lead within 5 minutes.
That's
and then they're,
well,
but I mean, yeah, you've got a great call center as well. But then the technology allows you to enter an address and get Eagle View quality measurements. So we use Eagle View data as the underlying data set, and then AI on top of that to be able to get super accurate, instantaneous squares, pitch, all those aspects, so that then we can put together that good, better, best quote. And so that's the new innovation that DemandIQ is bringing to get you that instantaneous good, better, best. And then it sounds like, you know, from when we spoke before, is like you're talking to that homeowner on the phone within 5 minutes about good, better, and best, and you're targeting them into those options based on what you learned during that discovery call, and you know how you're pushing your upsells and so forth. But it's like that. But that magic moment happens with speed. I think we've talked about speed like several times here today. It's like that's the thing that people want. They just want to get they want information. But then I'm sure you backstop that with like great people and more about your brand, and like
branding is the most important thing.
Yeah, you talk about other things, right? So you're not just selling on price. And I think that there's a lot of roofers out there that are like, this is interesting, but like sounds like you're just a low cost provider. And like the reality is that that's not the case. You're also selling on value and your brand and all those things. What are some of those things that you talk about when, you know, walking them through the quote beyond just the numbers? Like what's a talk track kind of look like for you?
I mean, we could test it out right now if you want. You want to role play?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So we get a lead come in.
I'll be the lead. I'll be the lead.
Yeah. So you'll be Mrs. Smith.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Give me a call.
All right. Hello. Oh, well, you have to pick up, right?
Oh yeah. Hey. Hey. Yeah. I'm kind of busy right now. Yeah. What's up?
Hey, Mrs. Smith. Hope you're having a nice day. This is Steven with iSmart Roofing. Sorry to bother you super quick. I saw that you just filled out one of our ads for a roof that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So just quick question. You're looking for a replacement? Is it a repair?
You know, it's getting pretty old, and it's just time to replace.
Okay. Awesome. So now that we have that information, how soon are you looking to get it? Is this something?
Yeah. I mean, I have. You know, I've had someone out yesterday, and I'm looking for a quote. Yeah, I saw your brand, popped up a Facebook ad, looked interesting. Yeah, give me I want the information from you. I want a quote.
Okay, perfect. So let me just look right now on the calendar real quick. Oh yeah, we are super extremely packed for this month. We can actually squeeze you in this week, so that's great. Okay, and then just give me your address. ABC Smith
123 Smith Street. Yeah.
Okay, cool, awesome. Let me plug that in. Just give me 1 second. Now, is this more? Are you trying to sell the home? Or are you trying to keep it? Or
it's kind of our forever home.
Okay, perfect. So you definitely want like a more higher premium quality shingle for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a nice neighborhood too.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I could definitely see that. That's awesome. So based on these pricings, we have A, B, or C. I would definitely recommend C just because of the home in the area that you're in.
Yeah.
It's more premium, 50-year warranty. If you're looking for a specific color, we can definitely do that as well. If you want a color match, that's no problem at all.
Okay.
So these are our options, and based on what you want, just let us know, and then I can send you over a formal estimate to the email that you put on file, which is abc@gmail.com.
So in those options, you'd given me a number, like a ballpark for what each one would be, or how is it? Is it a ballpark or an exact price for the A and the B and the C?
It's based on a projection. So I'll say your A is going to be from 10 to 12, your B is going to be from 12 to 14, your C is going to be from 14 to 16, for example.
Yeah.
Right? And the difference between these is just the warranty.
Okay.
So you have a range.
Okay.
And
so then you're targeting them into this option, and then they're obviously giving you feedback, and then from there you're saying, okay, like say you go with the best, right? I'm going to go with the best option.
Yeah.
It's going to be 10 to 12, or maybe it's even just 11 to 12 is what the range says. Is that going to be right? And then
the best one would be from, let's say, 14 to 16, but it wouldn't be 16. We still stay true to the course based on what we price per square.
Okay. And then I'm going to receive you're going to go into Job Nimbus and you're going to fill out.
Send you a formal.
You're going to
estimate.
send me the formal estimate over over email. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, got it. And then that formal estimate, then I'm just going to sign. Am I then calling you back at all and saying like, hey, I got the formal estimate. I see you're at like 10-4. You know, like what happens after you send that estimate?
Yeah. So we'll send that over, and then since we know when you want to get it done, we'll put you in our slot for Thursday. So okay, yeah, awesome. Yo, you need an ASAP, perfect, guys. So we do have that one spot for Thursday.
So you booked them in for for the project to begin before they even get their final quote?
Part of that urgency, we try to.
So you try to get them
part
to
of that urgency.
schedule.
Yeah,
to schedule
for
right
urgency,
there.
absolutely, because we want to lock in the client as soon as possible.
Okay.
Now, if you could tell obviously by the tone, this just comes to just sales training within itself, right? If the tonality of it's like, oh yeah, but it's not right now.
Yeah.
We've had clients like that. Yeah, no problem. We can schedule you in though. Like we're pretty booked already.
But I think that the interesting part is like this idea of like this budgeted range. Like they're pretty okay with this concept of being like, okay, like I'll select the best if it's like between this number and this number.
Yeah, because this is the range, and then you let me know this is based on the packages and the warranties. Based on what you want, we'll give you an exact quote. We'll send it over formally.
Got it. And then it's like just a final contract.
Yeah,
it's not like a full proposal again. It's like the actual contract itself.
Yeah, the actual contract itself, and with all the measurements, all that good stuff, everything's itemized.
Got it. And then do you go get do you go get like a premium roof report as well, just to make sure that those numbers are like finalized squares, or do you use DemandIQ, or what do you do?
We use DemandIQ for you guys.
Okay, so you're just going straight from DemandIQ's measurements directly into that final quote.
Absolutely.
Got it. Okay. And if you wanted to be sure of the numbers, you could order a premium roof report.
Yeah, you could, but then that takes time.
It's going to take time, right?
Those Eagle views take maybe an hour, 2 hours, which again, speed, right? So we could do the virtual stuff. So let's pretend you guys didn't exist. We could do virtual stuff. And then once we get to that Eagle view, or that roof arc, whatever measurement we want to use, then we're kind of in a hold because we're like, okay, it's waiting, right? The waiting game.
Yeah.
And speed is so important to lock in these clients that, I mean, we could potentially lose a client. I don't know that. Obviously,
yeah, it just depends on how fast they sign after, you talk to them on the phone. Is it fast? Like how long does it usually take to get someone to actually sign the contract, to close? Yeah.
If we were to do an average, there's a saying like 70% of sales come from the follow-up, which follow-up is obviously very important. We always push urgency, but at the same time, we don't push same-day close too much because we understand that the client wants to get different options and estimates, but we also educate the client as well. So like, oh, this might be a little too steep. Like, just so you know, Mr. Smith, if anything below this price, it could raise a red flag. If it's too good to be true, that's probably the case, because right now they're actually selling, and it's true. There's contractors selling grade B, low-level shingles, stolen shingles, they're prepackaged and all that stuff, and But then again, it's like, who's your target avatar? If my ads are pumping out something for dirt cheap, then I'm going to get people that are looking for that price.
Totally.
And we do some other stuff now where we're campaigning specifically to the luxury-ended homeowners, and we're adding like cool incentives, like, hey, we'll include a free pressure wash.
Yeah.
So stuff like that to really incentivize, oh, you're a luxury homeowner. And then subconsciously, if I don't think I'm in that category, I wouldn't even interact with that ad because I don't affiliate myself with that specific ad. But since I do, I'll click on the ad. Mm-hmm. So again, it depends, but I think unfortunately the construction industry within itself can be shady at times. So educating the client on things is very important. And then once you provide value and you educate them, obviously it's always up to them. It's what they choose, but if you do a good job, like any business, they're going to choose you.
Yeah. And then we have some things that we're working on for the education, this AI stuff that I'd love to show you at some point soon. But, one of the things I think people are probably wondering is like, what is the impact of going virtual for you? Like how would you quantify the success that you guys have had?
Great. Statistically speaking, compared to competitors, we're barely entering our month 5, man. It's crazy. I feel like I've been in business for like 3 years, but we're doing tremendously better than other people in their first 5 months compared to our first 5 months. I think also in terms of people understanding virtual, it's saying, okay, well, like we just mentioned, right, the door-to-door situation, they're getting tired, exhausted, morale's going to be down low now too because people are just worn out. And as times are changing and technology is adapting, the Chuck in the truck guy isn't really going to be in business for too long, because you're techie, I'm techie, our kids are going to be techie, our kids are going to be techie. They're going to be using AI. I use now ChatGPT more than Google.
Same.
So there you go. And if I see something that screams techie, technology, AI driven, I think of like, wow, okay, this is it. Like, there's a lot of credibility within this. The fact that
for the customer experience factor.
Exactly.
So you can target your ads, and like maybe someone's like, oh, well, you know, our customers don't buy like that. It's like, well, those people exist in every market. It's just about finding them. And so maybe you're a $5 million roofer, maybe you're a $10 million roofer, and you're like, well, we sell to old people in Wisconsin. It's like, well, there are young people in Wisconsin too, and maybe you only need 2-3 sales team members. Maybe you just create another brand, run Facebook ads targeted to that segment, and you slowly transition as people age into it. Because I think at the end of the day, it's not about like this light switch in your business. If you're already a $10 million roofer, you've got a great business. You're not going to flip a switch and be virtual, right? You're going to start phasing your team over and starting to hire that, you know, maybe that first inside sales person, and you know that model is going to shift over time, and I think that's okay. Like, I think it's okay to run both models at the same time. And so if you're in any market, I think, you know, it's something that people could start piloting, right?
I agree. It's funny you say that too, because you made me think of this case study that I saw that happened in Japan. So I think like way back when, coffee was like, I guess, not legal, or it was illegal. And then what they started doing in terms of marketing, they started giving out the kids little coffee candies. And then once they started growing up to become older, they started drinking coffee. Because no one was drinking coffee back then in Japan, but then they started giving like babies coffee candies, like kids, and then they started to acquire the taste and the smell. Like, oh, I had this when I was a kid. I want coffee. It's very
super interesting.
Yeah, I guess the way I see that compared to what we were just saying just now, like, yeah, you can't flip a switch. You know, if I have a $10 million operation doing door to door, that's great. But give that little kid a taste of the coffee candy and have one person implement it in the virtual side. Yeah, and you're right. You can't just like, all right, everyone, boom, here's the computer, learn it. No, but you can start integrating processes to slowly start adapting.
But then what are some of the other benefits of virtual? Like the fact that like you could hire talent from virtually anywhere, right? Like you can have people not be in your office. You don't have to spend as much money on overhead of your office. Maybe you even don't have to pay them as much, right? Like what do you think about, how do you feel about like, you know, pay for virtual versus in person? Like what would you say to a roofing business owner?
Me personally, I grew up when I met a mentor for the first time at 21. I saw like a real sales environment, kind of like Wolf of Wall Street or Boiler Room type of thing. Yeah. And I really like that culture because it's high energy, it's high performance. So what I like to do is almost call like a hybrid. Like it's virtual, but we like to do it in-house. But I spoke to Sean this morning as well, and he did a great point. He said, well, what if you have an absolute killer who just doesn't live in Houston? Yeah. So there's a lot of variables that come into play. And like, I guess me speaking primarily for myself, I would hire someone virtual if they want. I mean, it's 100% commission, right? So in terms of overhead, I'm not really paying much unless they actually start selling stuff. But
yeah. So I do have I have another really big customer that is all virtual. They're a $30 million business, and they have a team of like 30 guys in all kind of sitting around each other in like one call center room. Nice. And it creates this like, it's that boiler room kind of culture around things, but it's all virtual, and they're just getting so many at-bats over and over and over again. Like imagine how fast you can train a rep when you're getting that many at-bats. Like you can cut your training time down by a factor of like 6 because you're getting 6 times more reps per day. So like you're taking someone and hiring someone and making them productive, and literally 1/6 of the time that it would take someone to train out in the field, right? Like that's another benefit I just thought about, is like that training time, getting people ramped. Obviously, you know,
our training is easy, man. We have like a whole onboarding video. They watch it and then boom, they're set. And the best compliments actually I've received, because I always ask for feedback when we're getting new guys. They're always like, man, like this training was great. Like you gave us all the tools. That's the best compliment you can get as an owner. If new guys coming in and they're like you taught me everything. Like I get it. Like thank you. Yeah. Because some owners suck at training and replication. Yep. So we were able to not perfected, but I'd say we're close to getting there. I had a question. The guy that's doing 30 million though, how does he do his marketing?
They have a huge, so they're also calling cold leads.
Okay.
So they have opt-ins that are like warm leads from digital. They have a massive contact center that's just ripping data, right? They have millions and millions of records, and they're out buying data and like being able to call on cold lists. That's their number one. Then they started also adding texting to that, so they've been really successful with that. They're out in New York and New Jersey, so like the population density is so high out there. There's just so many opportunities out in the East Coast right now. I mean, lots of old roofs. There's other challenges that they deal with, but it's a very different beast out on the East Coast.
And where do you see DemandIQ, I guess, like the future for it with it all?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're on like a really interesting path right now towards enabling this like virtual sales model, enabling better online lead gen. So you can also use DemandIQ to capture and convert those leads, which that $30 million roofer and you also do, right? You can add DemandIQ to your website to let people self-quote, self-estimate, capture those pre-qualified leads and get them in. We didn't talk a lot about that, but that concept can then can be augmented by that virtual sales rep hopping into that experience, being present with you to close the deal right when you're on that web page. I mean, that's kind of the direction that we're headed, is being able to compress that timeline to get to that final quote and getting someone on the phone to confirm everything up and close you out, right? So, trying to improve business owner profit margins by reducing the amount of sales effort required to close a job, letting homeowners be more empowered to be able to self-quote, self-estimate, and ultimately buy on their own. And being able to do this for lots of different trades, being able to let businesses like yours quickly add sales motion for other trades so that you can double, triple your business by adding other products. Letting customers kind of self-qualify into those other products. And so, that's kind of where we're headed, is just like more virtualization of the process to be able to buy with less friction and be able to make your business look like the best one on the block with all this technology.
Where'd you get your entrepreneur mindset from? Was it more from being a child, or?
Yeah, good question. I grew up with a dad who was an entrepreneur. My dad was a doctor, but he started his own practice.
Nice.
Had other doctors come in under his practice, and my dad always told me, he said, like, don't go into medicine, because medicine, as a doctor, like, you're the product. He said, create products, build something that can then be bigger than yourself. Right? Like, just not only from the business size, but like the scalability. And so, he encouraged me to do like engineering. And so like I went and, got an engineering degree. That's like what kind of started all the creativity juices. And then I was always, then I did an MBA. And after my MBA, I started working in home improvement and realized that there was, like I said, a process that I thought wasn't the way that I wanted it. And I said, let's try it out. Let's see if we can make it a better buying experience for someone like me. And you're a good testament to the fact that like there's a lot of businesses out there that also believe that consumers have different perspectives that we should listen to and that we should adapt to and adapt around. And so, we're changing and moving just like all the other businesses out there around with AI. I mean, like that's such a big part of like our inspiration right now, is just like figuring out how better ways to use AI. But that's the entrepreneurial spark for me. How about you? What was it for you?
I guess, I mean, it's interesting because when I ask that question to guests, it always goes back to kind of childhood, because it's a mindset thing.
Oh yeah, I could tell you about all the businesses that I've started. It's not just one.
Yeah, exactly. But mom and dad, immigrants, flew from Colombia. They came here legally. I feel like I had to emphasize that, But they got divorced when I was around 13, so I stayed with my mom. But through my childhood and my young teens, it was very like, school, do the 9 to 5 type of thing. School was a staple. I also did my MBA, but for us, it was like school was like the financial security, stability, whatever you want to call it. And I was very big on being an athlete. I love soccer, still do.
Oh, nice.
Don't play as much anymore, but
that's cool.
Yeah. And then I went to school, got my bachelor's in business, did my MBA. COVID hit. So the whole dream of being an athlete kind of died down. Mandate happened. I lived in England, actually came back to Houston, did my MBA, took my GRE. I don't know
Nice.
how I got accepted into Bauer, but I did at UMH.
Wow.
So I did it online. And then I was doing Uber Eats, but groceries for people. So I go to like Target, HEB, like Fry, you know, like
Yep.
those. Because no one would go to the stores. So I was just
You're talking about in Europe.
in Houston.
In Houston,
Yeah,
okay.
because so I finished school in England, came
Yeah.
back to Houston because of COVID. The mandate said everyone
Get out of here.
come back to
Yeah,
Houston if
come
you have
back.
come back to the U.S. Sorry, if you
Come
have
back, yeah.
citizenship. So I came back, and I don't like to be stagnant. I like to be very productive. So I was like, what
Sure.
can I do to get ahead when the world's on pause? I was like, well, let me do my master's, my MBA.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, and then on the side to make side money, I was going to all these stores, doing groceries for people, like shipping it to their home and whatnot. And it was my buddy's birthday, and he was like, hey, let's go out. And then I met my mentor at a bar. And it turned out he sold it now, but he owned Win the Storm. And then he had SVG, which is an online training platform for contractors that
Yep.
do all sorts of stuff. So I met him, and he was like, hey, we're going to Lake Charles tomorrow. And I just met the guy. I was like, I don't know this guy. But I had a good feeling, and that kind of did my due diligence and my research. I was like, okay, yeah, he checks out.
Sure.
And I had a hunch feeling. I was like, why not? And he was like, yeah, man, we did 20 million. This is a great industry. I didn't know a thing about roofing, thing about shingles. So I did really good. And he was like, man, you have something special. Do you want to be the director of sales and move to Scottsdale, Arizona? So I moved to Scottsdale.
For SVG?
Yeah, for SVG.
Nice, okay.
Way back when, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was there for a little bit over a year. And then that's when I saw kind of like an opportunity in the market where he would have this event with thousands of people. But when I think of blue collar, I think of Latinos.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't see one Latino. And I was like, this is interesting. So I was like, let me make a concept, make it better, and apply it to a different market and give people an opportunity to obtain their version of the American dream.
Love it.
And then through that kind of spark and mission statement behind it, I started to make a lot of great relationships. So to answer your question, that spark of entrepreneurship came from my parents, right?
Yeah.
You know, they come in here for an opportunity, and I was lucky enough to meet my first mentor. So it's giving that opportunity to someone else, like, hey, like I got the opportunity, but you have it too. But now it's obviously based on, you can take a horse to the well, but it's up to him to drink the water. So we did that, and then that's when I started to see the fruition within the industry. And then during COVID, like private equity was looking into home service because everything was reset, like almost.
But home improvement was
recession
up.
proof, yeah.
Yeah.
And long story short, I was like, you know what? I think it's time to create iSmart Roofing. So we did that as well this year.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think that like part of it was like your aspiration to, you know, with iSmart to just like get involved with so much that you'd heard about? Like, because it is interesting to see you go from like being more on the vendor side, the conference side, to like actually getting into the roofing sales side, which is I applaud,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people who are watching this
Yeah.
also respect the hell out of that, right? Because
Yeah.
because you're much, you know, you've been there, done that, and that's something like I really respect from you. But like, what was it that like motivated you to like do the iSmart? It was just like that private equity was getting in, or like what do you think the deeper reason was?
I think it's because I knew how to do it.
Yeah.
And this is the best way to put it. If you do an event, right, and let's say I have the American Dream event. If you have a bad event for the first time, you're never going to have a second. You're not going to have the sponsors, partners, attendees.
The first event.
Your proof of concept is absolutely gone after your first one if it doesn't go to plan. You have to create a proof of concept and establish a brand that has subconscious meaning to it so well that you're able to create a good proof of concept for the first one, that they will deliver a second one, a third one, a fourth one. You know, now we're on like our 10th event total, our 4th big one. We do masterminds, all this cool stuff. It is so much easier to do a roofing company than it is to an event, because again, the event's one time, right? So if I have a roofing company, I could be slow and stagnant for 4 years, and then a hailstorm hits, and then boom, I did 5 million. Cool.
Yeah.
So there's so many factors. So if I was able to create something out of nothing, and I already have the formula and principles and have the connections from vendors to expedite the process, and have friends that have been there, done that, and understand business. Business is just a formula: sales, production, quality control, marketing, content, branding, etc.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Why not?
That's awesome.
It would be like insulting myself almost, and not like, bro, I got all the tools.
How do you balance all of these businesses? I think anyone who's out there that's watching this, that's involved with multiple things, knows how hard it is to have divided focus. How are you balancing that?
I think now with the American Dream, now that we're about to be 4 years in, the credibility is there, so it kind of auto runs. And then I have like my own way of, like I outsource, like everything's delegated, of course, but it's all like, you know, we have our marketing agency, we have our videographer, our editor, our social media manager, we have our salespeople, we have all that stuff for that. So I'm a really big fan. From what I've learned is, you know, delegating and being able to find the right people. Right now, most of my attention has been on the iSmart Moving. That's all for obvious reasons. It's new, so I'm getting
growing,
in,
trying to get it moving.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and we're getting to that phase as well. And it's, you know, trial and error specifically for which is interesting too, because the American dream is more virtual. I know iSmart Roofing is virtual, but you need more people in-house, because now we're talking about, you know, sales reps and educating and training these people for something a little bit more complex per se in the industry. But balancing it, bro, I'm just a work machine, man. My mindset's to win at all costs.
Time priorities must be pretty dialed in, because you gotta.
Very disciplined. It wasn't like that before though, man. Like 3 years ago when I was making, like 4 years ago when I was making money, especially back then, my first job in sales at 21, 22, making 6 figures. I didn't just wasting it going out partying.
Right.
But now that I'm so disciplined, extremely disciplined, I think I give that to my fiance. But she's helped me a lot with, you know, being more all in, and it's great because she understands the life of an entrepreneur.
Totally.
I know we spoke about that one time.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it comes down to childhood, to mindset, and I mean, I love it. I love what I do, and I'm able to also give people the opportunity to make money, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. No, I applaud your ability to be divided across so many things and maintain a relationship for all those that you know, have families and understand that there's, you know, at least half of your energy should be going towards, you know, your family and all those types of things. So that's a huge accomplishment, my man. I really appreciate that out of you. So good work, dude. Yeah, it's really hard to run businesses, isn't it? It's not easy. It's not for the weak. It's not.
No, I mean, there's moments in life. I mean, it's life in general, right? It's impossible to be happy 24/7, and business is similar concept within that. You know, you can't always be happy. Sometimes you feel like you're stuck in a wall. And there's a nice painting that I actually spoke about it at an event yesterday that I got invited to speak at. But essentially, the painting's called Checkmate. But a chess player came and saw that painting, and he realized it shouldn't be called Checkmate because the player who's playing the opponent has one more move left. And that analogy, I kind of like, you know, correlate with life and business. So no matter where you are, you know, you still have one more move, right? Or if you're gonna say you're gonna quit, say you'll quit tomorrow. I like that saying. So it's like, if you want to quit, say you'll quit tomorrow, and then tomorrow hits, say you'll quit tomorrow. So you're never quitting. Right?
Yeah.
You're doing it one day at a time, and it can be overbearing at times. I'm not gonna, especially being young, right?
Yeah.
But
there's the concept that you just mentioned that, like, you know, I'm gonna quit tomorrow, and then, you know, rolling that forward. I've heard over and over again, and honestly, something that words I live by as well are that, like, the people who are successful are really the people who didn't quit. And it just takes that much perseverance. Like, I think that there's very, very few people who are super successful that have ever made it to success without extreme discipline and perseverance.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's just that being able to be in the washing machine over and over and over and just getting tumbled and still keep your head up.
Yeah.
And even though you're coming out like for air and you've got suds on your face and you're just like, this is hell. You know, you're getting back in there and saying, let's keep going, let's go for a ride.
You have to.
And otherwise, if you don't, then, you know, that's where the road ends. And I think, again, where a lot of people have made it past that speed bump in the road and to that place of wherever they feel like they're trying to go, is just because they just kept driving.
If you were to give, I know we're running short on time now, but if you were to give one tip to a young upcoming entrepreneur, what tip would you give them?
I would say, especially to a young entrepreneur, I would say spend a long time making sure that, like, your desires for your business are the thing that is the best use of your time at that time. It's the best idea, because you could spend many years of your life or several years of your life going after potentially, like, an idea that might not be as good as another one. So if you go rushing into an idea without being calculated, you could end up going really deep in a rabbit hole. It's very easy to go into a rabbit hole. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't go into something and then keep your head on a swivel and potentially pivot if something better comes up. because there's lots of opportunities, like from one business, like most big businesses, like for example, YouTube or Airbnb, like a lot of these businesses didn't start the way that they look now. So it's like either spend a lot of time diligencing your ideas and really picking one that's a great horse to bet on, or make sure you've got your head on a swivel and you're able to react and change quickly based on the data that you're receiving, because your time is your most valuable resource, right?
It's true.
You end up growing up so fast, before you know it, you've spent 5 years of your life working on something. So it's really important to be nimble and also really review your data that you're getting regularly to make sure that you're on the right track. Because if your ship is going in the wrong place, you need to have that corrective ability to go in another direction if your data really is telling you need to go another direction. That's really important for early entrepreneurial success, is that corrective motion and that diligence around your ideas.
I agree 100%. My man, thanks for coming,
having
bro.
me.
Thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.